Hi, guys. Welcome to church. Good morning. Yes. Yeah. I was asked to kind of share what worship is to me, and to me, it's like an interaction with the Lord. We get to show up and everything that we're thinking and feeling and just look at Him and engage with Him and ask Him what He's doing, and He speaks to us. So I just want to encourage you guys today as we enter into worship that it's a conversation with the Lord, and we get to receive His love as we give our love to Him. So, and also I've been thinking a lot about what it is to wait on the Lord, and I read somewhere that the Hebrew word for wait is to be intertwined with Him. So whatever we're waiting for, if it's His presence, we get to just cling to Him and be intertwined with Him. So I'm just going to pray. Lord, I thank You for these people here today. And Lord, I thank You that we get to show up, and whatever we have to offer to You, Lord, I thank You that every thought, every feeling, what our Spirit's saying to us, Lord, I thank You that we get to just look to You and cling to You and be intertwined with You and wrapped up in Your presence, Lord. Yeah, in Jesus' name, amen.
Constant one, take me to new season. Oh, constant one, lead me to a new season. Oh, constant one, take me to a new season. Oh, constant one, lead me to a new season. There's always room for the King. There's always room for the King. There's always room for Him.
Oh, we open up to Him. There's always room for Him. Open up to Him. We fix our gaze on Him. We open up to Him. We fix our gaze on Him. We open up to Him. We fix our gaze on Him. We open up to Him. Oh, we set our gaze, we open up to Him.
Leave the world behind. We enter the kingdom now. Come in vain, take over the space, surround, engulf, press in. We are ready. Come in vain, take over the space, surround, engulf, press in. We are ready. Sing higher. Mighty wide now. We rise up, we bow down. Kingdom come, kingdom now. We're ready. We make space, we make room. We have come to yield to you. We make space, we make room. How we long to be close to you. We make space, we make room. We have come to yield to you. We make space, we make room. How we long to be close to you. Come in vain, take over the space, surround, engulf, press in. We are hungry. Let's sing that again. Come in vain. Take over this space. Surround, engulf, press in. We are hungry, higher, high, deep, wide and out. Rise up, we bow down. Kingdom come, kingdom now. We are hungry. We make space. We make room. We have come to yield to you. We make space. We make room. How we long to be close to you. We make space. We make room. We have come to yield to you. We make space. We make room. How we long to be close to you. Oh, come and take up residence. Jesus, Jesus, welcome in. Oh, come and take up residence. Jesus, Jesus, welcome in. Oh, come and take up residence. Jesus, Jesus, welcome in. Oh, come and take up residence. Jesus, Jesus, welcome in. We make room for you. Stir it up, stir it up. Praise for Jesus. Stir it up, stir it up. Stir it up, stir it up. Praise you, Jesus. Yeah. Stir it up, stir it up. Reach for the heavens. Stir it up, stir it up. Incense rise up. Stir it up, stir it up. Incense rise up. Stir it up, stir it up. Let your incense rise. Stir it up, stir it up. We're clearing up the clutter for the only one that matters. We're clearing up the clutter for the only one we're after. We're clearing up the clutter for the only one that matters. We're clearing up the clutter. You're the only one we're after. Oh come and take a presence. Jesus, Jesus, welcome in. Oh, come and take a presence. Jesus, Jesus, welcome in. We make space, we make room. We have come to yield to you. We make space, we make room. How we long to be close to you. We make space, we make room. We have come to yield to you. We make space, we make room. How we long to be close to you. Let's just welcome him. Let's just welcome him. Jesus, Jesus, welcome in. Jesus, Jesus, welcome in. Come in. Jesus, Jesus, welcome in. Fill up every space. Jesus, Jesus, welcome. There's always room for the King. There's always room for the King. There's always room for the King. There's always room for the King.
is moving on the water, who is holding up the moon, who is peeling back the darkness with the burning light of noon, who is standing on the mountains, who is on the earth below, who is bigger than the heavens, and the lover of my soul. Creator God, He is Yahweh. The great I am, He is Yahweh. The Lord of all, He is Yahweh. Rose of Sharon, He is Yahweh. The righteous Son, He is Yahweh. The 3-in-1, He is Yahweh. Standing on the mountains, who's on the earth below, who is bigger than the heavens, and a lover of my soul. Creator God, He is Yahweh. The great I am, He is Yahweh. The Lord of all, He is Yahweh. Rose of Sharon, He is Yahweh. The righteous Son, He is Yahweh. The 3-in-1, He is Yahweh. Who is He that makes me happy? Who is He that gives me peace? Who is He that brings me comfort and turns the bitter into sweet? Who is stirring up my passions? Who is rising up in me? Who is filling up my hunger with everything I need? Sing, who is stirring? Who is stirring up my passions? Who is rising up in me? Let Him rise. Who is filling up my hunger? Oh, with everything I need. Oh, Creator God, He is Yahweh. The great I am, He is Yahweh. The Lord of all, He is Yahweh. Rose of Sharon, He is Yahweh. The righteous Son, He is Yahweh. The 3-in-1, He is Yahweh. Yahweh, Yahweh. Oh, He's Yahweh, Yahweh. He's Yahweh, Yahweh, Yahweh. Oh, the life that I breathe, He's the breath that I breathe. Yahweh, 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 He's the breath that I breathe. Oh, He's life, He's life, He's life, He's life to me. Purpose, and now I have a destiny. You made me for your glory. You made me for your glory. And now I have a purpose, and now I have a destiny. You made me for your glory. You made me for your glory. And now I have a purpose, and now I have a destiny. You made me for your glory. You made me for your glory. And now I have a purpose. And now I have a destiny. You made me for your glory. You made me for your glory. And now I have a purpose. And now I have a destiny. You made me for your glory. 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 When we declare over ourselves, you made us for your glory, God. You made me for your glory. 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 Yes. You made me for your glory. You made me for your glory. You made me for your glory. Yeah, yeah. This is the air that I breathe. This is the life. You are the life to me. He's Yahweh. He's Yahweh. 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 Oh, he is Yahweh. 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 You made me for your glory. You made me for your glory. You made me for your glory. With a purpose, with a purpose. Nothing is wasted in your eyes. Nothing is too far gone to you. Nothing is too dead, 'cause you breathe life into dry bones. You're breathing life into dry bones. You're breathing life. Yahweh, you're breathing life into these bones. Resurrection life, resurrection life. You made me for your glory. You made me for your glory. You made me for your glory. Yes. You made me for your glory. Just breathe him in right now. Just breathe him in. Let's take just a minute to breathe him in. He's the breath in our lungs. He's the breath in our lungs. He's the life we need. He's the life we need. Yahweh, 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 Yahweh. Sing it one more time. Yahweh, 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 Yahweh. Holy Spirit, just make us more aware of your presence flowing in and out of us. I feel you so strongly, and it's when I'm standing still. And your scripture says, "Be still and know that I am God." Be still and know that He is God. Make us more aware, Jesus.
is your faithfulness. Sing it last time. Great is your faithfulness to me. Great is your faithfulness to me. From the rising sun to the setting, same I praise your name. Great is your faithfulness to me.
Feel the waters rise. Feel the waters rise in the room. The waters of His presence. Feel them rise. Feel the waters rise. Feel the waters rise in the room. I see the cloud, and I step in. And I want to see your glory like Moses did. Flashes of light and rolls of thunder. But I'm not afraid. But I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid. Show me your glory. Show me your glory, my God. Show me your glory. Show me your glory. Feel the waters rise in the room. Feel the waters rise. For more of Him, more of Him. I'm awed by your beauty. I'm lost in your eyes. And I want to walk in your presence like Jesus did. Your glory surrounds me. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid. No, I'm not afraid. No, I'm not afraid. Show me your glory. Show me your glory. Oh my God. Show me your glory. Show me your glory. Oh, we long to see. Show me your glory. Show me your glory. Oh, we long to see you. Show me your glory. Show me your glory. And I long to look on the face of the one that I love. Long to stay in your presence. It's where I belong. Long to look on the face of the one that I love. Long to stay in your presence. It's where I belong. Long to look on the face of the one that I love. Long to stay in your presence. That's where I belong. Long to look on the face of the one that I love. Long to stay in your presence. That's where I belong. Oh, it's where we belong. It's where I belong. And I long to look on the face of the one that I love. Long to stay in your presence. Long to look on the face of the one that I love. Long to stay in your presence. It's where I long to look on the face of the one that
your glory. Show me your glory. I long to look on the face of the one that made me, the one that chose me, the one that laid his life down for me, to the one and only one, Jesus. I long to look on the face of the one that I love, long to stay in your presence. I long to look on the face of the one that I love, long to stay. Just want to stay with you. We just want to stay with you. We just want to stay with you. Feel the heartbeat in your chest. Feel the heartbeat in your chest. The heartbeat of heaven. The heartbeat of heaven. And I long to look at the face of the one that I love, long to stay in your presence.
The Lord showed me this picture of a tree, and there's like two root systems, and there was one that you could tell that brought life to the tree, and then there was one that, you know, sucked life from that tree. And the Lord, I felt like, was telling me that there's two things that can happen. You can choose to let your desires and your flesh to soak up this life from this tree that you have living inside you, right? You can choose to let it drain you, and then one day it's going to die. One day it's going to die. He said, or you can take this axe right here, and you can cut these dead roots that bring nothing to your life. And you could choose to have these life-giving roots flow through your body. And it got me thinking. I'm like, well, what are my dead roots? He's like, Isaac, you know what they are. He said, we all know what they are. He said, are you willing to cut them off? He said, are you willing to do it? And I'm like, I don't know, Jesus. Sometimes I don't want to give it up. It's comfort. It's comfort. I'm like, man, I like to play my video games, man. I like to play, right? It's a fun time. But he's like, Isaac, will you give me this 10 minutes? You know, you don't have to give it up all the time. You give me this 10 minutes? I'm like, all right, Lord. Yes, Lord. But he's telling me there's two choices that you can make. So you can choose me, or you can choose whatever your flesh wants. And only one's going to give you life. Only one's going to give it to you. So let's give it up for the worship team. And then you got a 3-minute break. Go say hi to somebody.
That was subtle. I know. I'm sorry. Do you want me to just talk loud? Hey, family. Good to see you guys. We are back from the frozen tundra of Green Bay, Wisconsin, which was fun. We had a great time. Jamie knocked it out of the park. It was great. So we're glad to be back, though. Glad to be with you. Great weather, which I think a lot of people today are not here today because they're enjoying the weather. So I know a few of them. But that's awesome. So good deal. Announcements. First of all, if you brought offering, we have an offering bucket at the back. You can drop it in the bucket or in the bucket in the hallway there. Tonight, there is no encounter. Beto is gone because he is driving Naoko to the airport. And we are going to miss Naoko for about a month. She's going to visit her family in Japan. So that'll be good for her, but sad for us. We'll miss her because she's amazing. So no encounter tonight. Wednesday, we have parent support group. If you want to come to parent support group, which I encourage you, if you can make it, it is always a good time of learning some tools, some skills that we all need as parents to help raise our kids. So you can email humparentgroup@gmail.com and let us know if you're coming and if you're bringing your kids, because we have childcare. We feed you, so we just need to be prepared for that. Another thing that goes on, I don't often mention this, but I want to start highlighting it, is we do a midweek Bible study. It is online. We call it the Midweek Refuel. And I've been going through a series called Strengthening Yourself in the Lord. It's from a book called by Bill Johnson. And so Wednesday nights around 6:30, if you hop on to the Shiloh Family Facebook page or our YouTube page, you can access that Bible study. Right now it is pre-recorded, but coming up, I think I'm going to start in May because I don't want to conflict with what Rhonda is doing with her online Bible study. I'm going to start doing a Tuesday night where it's live. You can actually check in and ask questions and interact. So that'll be Tuesday night. If you're already used to watching it on Wednesday, don't worry, because we're going to record it and post it so you can keep doing what you're doing. But I want to try this format so that we have a little bit more interaction. And we're going to do a series on the supernatural power of a transformed mind. So that should be good. So beyond that, tomorrow, Monday, youth group, 6:30 to 8 o'clock. Kids can come a little bit early if they want to hang out with Isaac and Emily and I, because we're so cool. We're so with it. That's what I like to think. But anyway, yes, no, I'm just the old guy now. I used to be the youth pastor years and years ago, but now when I get up, I grunt because I'm old and it hurts. So there you go. Anyway, that's tomorrow night from 6:30 to 8. And then I think that's it as far as I can remember. If not, next week is family dinner. We will have encounter again next week, but Beto is gone, so not tonight. Well, today you get to hear from the awesome, amazing Jamie. By the way, come on up, Jamie. If you want to watch the sessions that we did in Wisconsin, you can go to Elevation Church, which is it is not the North Carolina Stephen Furtick Church. It's a little bit different. It's in Wisconsin. So look up Elevation Church in Wisconsin on Facebook, and you'll find it. And our session on Saturday and our Sunday morning sessions on there if you want to watch it. So there you go. Welcome to my awesome, lovely wife.
Hi, how are you guys doing today? You're doing good? You're quiet. Usually when people are quiet, that could be really good or really bad. When a toddler's really quiet, it's really bad. Yeah, that is for sure. I'm going to pray before we keep going here for a second, because I feel like it. So, Lord, I just thank you for what you're doing today. And, Lord, I just pray that that the heart of the message becomes clear. And that, that you would hear, that we would hear the heart of your message. In Jesus' name. Isaac, we need to stop having you do transition. Either that or you just need to start preaching. One of the two, probably that. Yeah. it was actually funny because I'm sitting back there and I'm like doing the overheads, and I'm like, I don't know that I want to preach this message. And then Isaac gets up and he does transition, and Isaac partially preaches my message. And I'm like, okay, thank you. All right, I guess this is the correct message for today. So good job, Isaac. At least 2 of us hear from God. That was a total joke. Probably a bad one. Okay, this is why I prayed before I started, remember? So Marty and I have been talking a lot in the last month or so. And this week, what we had been talking about is something I felt like that God wanted to talk about. And so, anybody notice lately when they are watching some great people that we've had some great people who've respected a lot, and we find out that they've made big messes? Does that bother anybody else? Yes? No? There is a huge part of me lately that when I see the large mess, it I grieve about it. It makes me really upset. And I'm like, God, like Marty and I have been talking about it, like, God, how do you get to a place where on one side I hear you so well, I'm so gifted, I'm so talented. On the other side, I can blow it out of the water so bad. Like, have you ever just sat and thought about that? Like, think about it for just a second. Like, we're not talking about like people who like every once in a while. Like, we're talking about people who churches have had looked up to for years. We're talking about people who people have looked at and, like they re-show their messages all over the place, or they are posting their prophetic words, and like that the church has been directed by these people. And in the same instance, I'm watching this, and I'm also seeing that these people have a lifestyle of something that I wouldn't even touch. Does that bother anybody? It bothers me. It bothers me because I'm like, one side bothers me because I'm like, how do we let this happen? And then the other side bothers me because it's like, there's this grieving part. And there's a grieving part for me that says, God, I don't ever want to have myself in a position where I get to the place where I am that okay, like where I can live those 2 lifestyles and totally be okay with it. And I want you to understand these things don't happen overnight. Okay? Like, we don't just wake up one day and all of a sudden decide to live 2 different lifestyles. Like, you create this ecosystem of 2 different lifestyles being okay. And the second part of it is I actually don't ever want to create a culture in my church where we're good with that. Where I'm good with, you're super talented, you're super gifted. Because here's the part that's really hard is that God was actually honest when he said that his gifts and his calling he doesn't take away. So that's how it happens. It happens because you can be as gifted, like he doesn't take the words away from you. He doesn't take the stuff away. And in our world, we're like, we think that, he would give it, but then when you're not doing the right thing, he takes it. But that's not the way that Jesus gives. Like, and we think about that in salvation, we think about that in everything. We're like, okay, the ones that are going to heaven are the ones who did everything right. And when you don't do something right, then I'm going to take it back. And we actually have whole entire denominations that believe this. That's like, as long as you're doing the right thing, you go to heaven, and as long as you're doing the wrong thing, you don't. And they'll say, maybe you weren't really saved. Here's the problem. is that Jesus has this thing and he calls it a gift. Salvation was a gift. It wasn't something you earned. So he said, here, Stacy, here's a gift. Yeah, and then anytime you screw up, you still have it. He didn't take it back. It's amazing. So his gift to me has nothing to do with my capability of staying right. So when he says, Carlos, here's a gift, he doesn't go, oh, Carlos, now you're misbehaving, so I'm going to take it back. Carlos, you can prophesy over people. You can do all these things. You can hear me so well. Oh, now you've disobeyed, so I'm going to make sure that you can't hear me. It doesn't work like that. It's still there. So, and Marty is saying, well, you know what? Fame corrupts, money corrupts. And I'm like, I agree with that to an extent, but I think that the hard thing for me is that what if there's nothing to corrupt because of the way that you build your life? Like, I think things are corruptible when I miss my foundation. So, and I think that a lot of times we don't like to spend time on foundational things because they're boring. The foundational things of like, hey, I need to go ask God about what he wants me to do and then just stick to that. That is way more exhausting and boring than it is to sit here and get an incredible word from God and speak it over somebody. And I have a tendency, and the church has a tendency to highlight that more than they do this over here. So learning to have character and to have integrity and to, go, hey, what is the fruit of my life producing? That's way more boring to sit there and try and figure out. And it's harder, actually. It's harder to learn how to love somebody than it is for me to prophesy over you. To prophesy over you, it takes me 2 seconds. I hear what God's saying, I tell you. Very easy. Learning how to when you get the gift of healing, all I got to do is stand up here and pray for you. It has the only thing I have to have is guts. But if I'm held to this integrity part of where love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control is the fruit of my life. Have you ever tried to have those characters? Dude, sign me up to pray over people all day long. And please give me the gift of healing while you're at it. So much easier. Having guts and taking a risk is so much easier than sitting there and trying to figure out how to love somebody that I don't want to love. Love requires a lot of me. Having patience with you requires a lot of me. Being faithful, having self-control. You ever had to have self-control? If you haven't, I have a kid. I'll give you 2 hours. Then you tell me where self-control comes in. We don't like the basics. We don't like to sit there and develop the basics, we want to go, we have a school. And when kids come to BSSD, to discipleship school, what they wanted to do is they wanted to go to BSSM. And in BSSM, it's super exciting because they get these chances to change the world and to preach and to do all these other things. When they come to BSSD, it's super unexciting because they get this opportunity to sit here and build the basics. And they're like, I don't want to build the basics.
I would rather preach like Bill Johnson. And I'm like, I know, and I want you to preach like Bill Johnson. I also want you to live like Bill Johnson. I can say that about Bill Johnson because I know him. Or I'll choose a better one. I want to be Chris Valentin. I really know that one. I have more confidence in that one than I have in other ones, than anybody else. Only because I know him so well. And it's like, yeah, I want you to prophesy like Chris Valentin too. I want you to sit with senators and I want you to tell them what God is saying to them too. I want you to go sit down with presidents all over. And I want them to encounter God through you. You have no idea how badly I want you to do that. Here's the thing. You have no idea how badly I want to make sure that your integrity matches your gift. Because I don't ever want to watch you be destroyed and a bunch of people around you. Because your integrity didn't match your gift. And I watched the two men that I just talked about, and I watched them build their integrity. Way before their gift ever showed up. And I want to create a culture here that my integrity means as much as my gift, if not more than my gift. And that we celebrate the integrity of somebody. So here's the deal, though, that has to happen if this happens. Is that I have to create a culture where when you're having an issue, it's okay to have an issue because we're going to talk it through. Because if I create a culture of, what happens with religion, and I will 100%, I'm going to out every pastor on the planet right now. Here's the reason why we like religion more than we like sin. As a pastor, I'm not saying as people, I'm saying as a pastor. As a pastor, I like religion more than I like the other because if I can get you to hide your stuff, then I don't have to deal with your stuff. And the reason why I don't want to deal with your stuff is not because I don't want to deal with it, it's because I don't know how. So I feel like I have this responsibility to, as soon as I hear what you have to tell me, my next thought is, oh crap, what am I going to do? Let me tell you. But if I don't know about it, if we create a culture where you're good, I'm good, we're all good, everything is good, then the things I don't know about, I don't have to deal with. Even if I kind of know about it, even if I think I might know about it, do you know what I mean? Like as a parent, isn't it sometimes when your kids, it's nice when your kids lie? You guys are all like, no, I would never do that. I'm like, yes, you would. There are times when I'm like, I don't even want to know. Don't lie to me, just don't say anything. How about that? Maybe that's a better thing. Maybe I don't want you to lie to me, I just don't want you to tell me either. But we create this culture because the second you tell me the crap that you have in your life is the second I have to go, what the heck are we going to do with that? And some stuff's not easy. I'm not going to lie. Some stuff is wow, that's a thought. And as soon as I have it, then as a pastor, I have this huge amount of weight that says everything, what are you going to do? And is it going to be right or is it going to be wrong? What are people going to say? What are people going to, And it's so instead, it's so much easier for me to just say, hey, you don't tell your stuff. I don't tell my stuff. We just don't talk. Everything's good. You're really gifted. I'm going to go ahead and use you. Look at how amazing it is. If you're that gifted, God wouldn't God's not going to make a mistake and give you a really great gift and give you this really cool ability and without no integrity. Yeah, he does. He doesn't think like I do. So you kind of get where I'm heading today. So One of the first things I think is important to understand, and this is the part where I think we've got sin in Christianity messed up. So, how does a Christian sin? Okay, we're going to go back to the original sin. And I was thinking the other day, like, I always talk about the original sin, and I'm like, the problem is that there was only one. So it's like I can't really like give you another reference. You know, when you feel like you keep hearing the same story over and over, it's like because there was only one original sin, so there's only one to talk about. So if we go back, Daniele, can you put? Yep. Okay. So let's preface this. Adam and Eve. So what did Adam and Eve, were they born with a sin nature? Or were they created? Because they actually really weren't born. Were they created with a sin nature? How many think yes? How many think no? You guys don't raise your hands. Okay. So I'll answer it for you. The Bible tells us that Adam and Eve were created in the image of God, and that made it so that they had no sin nature. Okay? So on top of, we know that they had no sin nature because this is how sin started. So first, number one thing is, can a person sin when they have no sin nature? Yep, they can. It takes two things to sin. The first thing is free will. And the second thing is to believe a lie. So we're going to read the Message. So this is in the Message Bible. Genesis 3. This is the original sin. So the serpent was clever, more clever than any wild animal God had made. He spoke to the woman, "Do I understand that God told you not to eat from any tree in the garden?" The woman said to the serpent, "Not at all. We can eat from the trees in the garden. It's only about the tree in the middle of the garden that God said, 'Don't eat from it. Don't even touch it or you'll die.' The serpent told the woman, 'You won't die. God knows the moment you eat from that tree, you'll see what's really going on. You'll be just like God, knowing everything, ranging all the way from good to evil.' When the woman saw that the tree looked like good eating and realized that what she would get out of it, she'd know everything. She took and ate the fruit and then gave some to her husband, and he ate. Immediately, the two of them did see what's really going on. They saw themselves naked. They sewed fig leaves together and made makeshift clothes for themselves. When they heard the sound of God strolling in the garden in the evening breeze, the man and his wife hid in the trees of the garden, hid from God. God called to man, 'Where are you?' He said, 'I heard you in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked and I hid.'" Okay. So the original sin is Eve thinks that it is a good idea for her to know the difference between right and wrong. The original idea was that you never would have the ability to know the difference between right and wrong because it came through relationship. It came through the actual perfect model of what it was supposed to look like is Jesus. Okay, Jesus, this may offend you, but you're going to have to think about this. Jesus actually, because of what happened with Adam and Eve, Jesus actually was put on the earth with a sin nature just like you and I originally started with. Okay? That sounds very offensive because he was God. But the problem is that he was God, but he gave all his godness away and took on humanity. If we don't believe that, then you're going to not understand that everything that Jesus did, like this is why Jesus is our standard. Jesus, the way he lived on the earth is 100% the Christian standard. And it's not one of these things where we can say, well, I'm not, I'm not perfect, I'm not Jesus. And it's like, no, that's actually is the standard. So, but the thing with Jesus is that Jesus technically still had the sin nature, but he had this thing called relationship. And Jesus modeled what it was supposed to be like for with Adam and Eve. And Jesus' model said, whatever he's doing, I'm doing. And whatever he's not doing, I'm not doing. And I don't question what he says I am doing and what he says I'm not doing. So I don't have to understand the why to understand that this is what I'm doing. Very big difference. If you look in Christianity, one of our biggest issues is we question God's why. I want to understand why you say this isn't okay to do this. I want to understand, like, in my opinion, this is the more loving thing to do. And we question his why instead of just going, you know what? I'm going to listen out of relationship because I've chose you and I chose that you know more than I do. And the funny part is that we actually think that we know more than God. Like, we wouldn't say that, but that's actually the choices we make. And it's incredible. Marty and I were talking this last week. We were talking about the brain. We were talking about science and just like the fascinating things of God and how what God created and how he made things, and like the God of the universe. Like, if I truly believe that God created everything, then have you ever thought about how intricate you are? Like, science can't keep up with how intricate you are. They'll tell you, you know, what we know about the brain is a fraction of actually what happens with the brain. Like, what we know. And then when you look at it, like, then you go to species, and you also go to ecosystems, and you also go to, like, do you understand that there's not a single person that actually understands how everything works? But there's one person who understands how everything works, and that's because he created it. But me, who can't understand how everything works, looks at him and questions his why, because I can't understand it. Or because I think that there's a better way. Do you see how that's a problem? I have to remember that every time that I am in God's presence, he knows more. Put yourself back in your teenage years. Seriously. Do you remember when you were a teenager? Have you looked back now as an adult? The other day I was thinking about some choices, even when Marty and I got married. I'm like, do you know that I said yes to Marty and that we started planning a wedding before my parents ever met Marty? And at 19, I thought that was totally normal and no big deal. Do you know that if my kid had done that, I would have ripped her head right off? And I'm like, seriously. And I'm thinking, because, you know, I grew up, my perspective of myself is I was a pretty easy kid to be, and I didn't like to do the wrong thing, and I probably didn't give my parents very much stress. And the other day I was thinking about that, and I'm like, oh my gosh. I said yes to a guy, and my parents didn't even know who he was. And here I'm thinking that, you know, and if they had given me a problem about it, I would have thought how unfair they were. Okay. Stupid. Right? Ladies and gentlemen, we are the teenager in the relationship. I'm not joking. I know enough to hurt myself, but not enough to know anything. Just enough confidence to just get myself in enough trouble, right? So remind yourself of that when you're in those situations. I'm the teenager. I'm the teenager. I'm the teenager. I know nothing. I think I know everything, but I know nothing. It will help you a lot. So sin is for the Christian. So here's another core value that's super important. What time is it? Okay. I only have like 7 more pages of notes. This is what happens when you're female and you're a preacher. 11 pages of notes later. But I won't do 11 pages of notes today. We'll finish pretty quick here. So the 2 core values that are super important. First one is that as a Christian, when I get saved, and I will hammer this till the day I die, you are changed from the inside out. So you no longer have a sin nature. So I am no longer prone to sin. Okay? If you don't have this as a core value, you will sin like nobody's business. And the reason actually is because you're believing a lie that you have a sin nature and that he didn't change you from the inside out. Okay? So a non-Christian has a sin nature, and they're living from the inside out. It's really offensive to Christians that they are, but here's the thing, is that you didn't want to live religion either, and neither do they. So when I, as a Christian, want a non-Christian to live like a Christian, I'm saying, hey, by the way, just go ahead and live religion. It didn't work for you, and it isn't going to work for them. And it actually isn't the way that Jesus wants it. He actually first wants them to choose him, and then second, the behavior comes. But he actually wants to be the choice first. Like, he actually values the choice. So as a Christian, I am changed from the inside out. So I am no longer prone to sin. So I want you to understand that when I am sinning, I'm actually, I should actually look at that and go, this is outside of my nature. Why am I acting outside of my nature? Because it isn't in you anymore. So when a Christian sins, it should be odd. You're like, this woman's crazy. I'm not crazy. I'm telling you that when I learn how to line up and when I realize what Jesus did, then I start to go, wait a second, that actually isn't anything of what I'm like. But religion has told us, oh, well, sin is going to be a constant struggle for you. I'm not saying sin isn't a temptation for you, but I'm saying sinning shouldn't be the norm because it isn't who I am. So then we go back to, well, if I am sinning, then why am I? And it only took 2 things, free will, but the other thing is believing a lie. So what did the serpent do with Eve? The serpent with Eve sat down and said, hey, wouldn't it be a really good idea for you to know the difference between right and wrong? And in that moment, the lie got in her head like, yeah, I think that this would be a better idea. I think me knowing the way that God, me thinking like God is a better idea. And she believed a lie. And in the process of it, it was like, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and make this choice because I think I'm going to know better, or at least as much as. So when, as a Christian, when I'm struggling with sin, I'm actually not struggling with sin. I'm actually struggling with a lie. And so when somebody comes to me and they say, here's my problem, the first thing that as Christians that we need to start asking is, what lie are you believing about yourself? It's not about behavior modification. It doesn't matter what you're doing. We're like, how can I keep you from doing what you're doing? Your behavior will completely change when your mind changes. And when you stop believing a lie. So when truth comes in, you get rid of lie. Well, because you're not sinning from the inside out. So it's a lie. What lie am I believing? And the last thing in this house that I really want to become normal is I don't know. So as we start to get real with each other, and as we start to go through these different processes, everybody wants to know, like, so what do we do? Do we pull the person from the worship team? Do we, is it 6 weeks of that they, how long does it take before someone, I don't know. Jesus walked with 12 guys, and they did life with him, and some of them had some major sin issues while they were doing it, and 11 of them made it, and one of them didn't. And Jesus did whatever he heard the Father doing. So however Jesus interacted with them, and whatever level that he allowed them to minister or not minister or do or not do or whatever, I don't know, I wasn't there every day. I'm not sure if Judas was allowed on the prayer line or if he was just the guy over there collecting money and stealing it. I'm not sure. I have no idea. I want to get to the place where we go, I don't know, because I do know that punishment isn't the way out. I know that you finding who you are. And so I think we're going to sit down and we're going to talk with God, and I think we're all going to figure out, what is it? What do you need? And that starts to become the question. That starts to become the standard. What do you need? What lie are you believing? What do you need? So stand with me. I don't want this to be a heavy message, which is probably too late for that. But I actually want you to get excited. Because it's going to be okay to be real. Everybody has stuff. Everybody has places they struggle. B, because we're going to start finding solutions to your struggle, because we're going to start asking the right questions, and we're going to start asking the right person. So we're going to start going, you're believing a lie, and we're going to start sitting with God, and we're going to start finding out, what do you need? So it's not about that, and we're going to create a safe space. And we're going to go, you know what? Integrity is really important. So we're just not going to change the tune. And, and pretty soon when people walk in the door and they're like, we will love their gifting, but what we will be looking for is their integrity. And the integrity part is what creates a safe space. So we want to create a house full of people who care about what we're cultivating on the inside. Because I personally would love that every person in this house gets to minister at the highest level of whatever God had for them, and that in the midst of that their integrity stays. So it wouldn't matter how much pressure you were put under. It wouldn't matter what temptation you saw. It's why Jesus was put under 40 days before he was ever released into ministry. He was put under 40 days of temptation and fasting because God wanted to see, can he do it? Because Jesus had a choice. So I want to flip the script and go, hey, anytime we're put under pressure, it's a really good thing. Because you have choices, and he's trying to see, what choice are you going to make? Because I want to see How far can we push you? It's an honor. And if we are struggling, no problem. It's not a big deal. Because it just means that there's something here in my foundation that I'm missing. So I'm just going to go back, fix that part, and do it again. The struggle is never a problem. It's when we decide to cover it. And so, Lord, I just pray for supernatural grace in this house. Grace and the fact, in the sense of grace, the ability to show my stuff. And to not be afraid, and to not partner with fear, and to know, Lord, that actually you have a solution for every problem I have. You have a solution for every sin in my life that I choose. And that I don't have to live like that for the rest of my life. Because as a Christian, when I sin, I'm outside of myself. And it doesn't feel good. And so, Lord, I pray for supernatural solutions. I pray for the ability to hear truth. I pray this week, Lord, that people would start to get solutions from you. Last night, I got a solution in a dream. And Lord, I pray for things like that. I pray you'd wake up and from a dream you would have an answer to a problem that you've had. I pray that you would get truth. That was actually part of my dream, is it actually brought in truth for me of a lie that I was believing. And so, Lord, I pray that supernaturally, I pray that people would have angelic visitations. I pray all of the things in the New Testament that were cool and great of the way that people met God, that people in this house would meet God. And Lord, I pray that we would never change the script. I want to look like you. I want to act like you. I want to talk like you. I want to think like you. And we just pray grace over that in Jesus' name. Amen. Okay, so if you're smart today, you'll do something outside because it's so nice. Unless you are a non-outdoorsy. Always have a great day.